Whether we strive to conform or attest to be distinctive, personal and social identity is crucial in defining our exterior image. How we present ourselves externally allows surrounding viewers to judge us according to how we want to be perceived, whether accurate or deceptive. Finding an identity that adapts to an individual's personality as well as society's norms is what has caused the issue of identity crisis amongst many adolescents and adults. Whether we place blame on fashion companies, on Western society's culture as a whole, or upon ourselves, this is a present, active issue that everyone must confront at some point in their lives.
Women have frequently in the past been the victims of rules on clothing, which have denied them freedom of movement, sensory experience, and expression, and which have sometimes directly led to irreparable physical damage. Don't be a victim. Don't be a victim. Don't be a victim.
So this is my first post, and it's to explain what my thesis is based on. So I'm doing a thesis based on identity crisis, and identity crisis is when an individual has trouble finding out who they are and where they belong in society. So in particular, I'm focusing on the issues of clothing and how a person has trouble finding who their identity is based on what they wear. And this hits close to home because I grew up in Toronto and I was always influenced by people surrounding me. I grew up in the heart of Toronto, in downtown, especially Bloor and Yonge area. So you have very high class, very rich individuals. I was also influenced by the major clothing decisions people with money had. So coming from a family that was not incredibly rich, someone who, could spend thousands of dollars on an outfit like this, I had to compete with individuals who could and find a way to find my identity within this crowd that I could blend in and not seem any different from them. So growing up in a city with a lot of wealth has really influenced the way this thesis is going about. So whether or not it's a friend that I'm trying to be with, or I'm trying to influence a company, or just who I am at home, I often decide what my identity is through how I appear on a daily basis. So what shirt I wear, what pair of jeans I wear, how I combine my clothing really influences the way a person first identifies who you are, what class you're in, what group of people you hang out with. I'm hoping through these blog posts I can help to figure out where I belong in society.
Is there such a thing as wanting too much out of life? Where you dream of being in everyone else's shoes, doing everything they do? Why is it that whenever I do, it doesn't make me happy enough? That I see what I want from other people's lives and not my own? Lifestyle. I crave something more than what I have. The clothing depicts a lifestyle I wish I had. I wish I were rich. I wish I were adventurous. I wish I was artistic. And yet those people and those lifestyles fit together to the point that they are not trying to be something. They are something. Why isn't this me? Why can't I find this identity? It's in moments of solitude that you think about your life, your impact on the world and society. When you get a chance to reflect, no one judges you out here, except yourself. So critical as if your life depended on comparing yourself to the most ideal form of perfection, all the time. It's how we grew up, what we were taught from a young age. Not verbally, though, visually. No matter how hard we try to believe that we are all individual, or even collectively demonstrating a set identity, everything has been pre-controlled, pre-analyzed to determine a collective identity that solidifies our societal norms. I feel like I suffer because I don't want to be put in a societal category, one that fits in society's determined categories of identity. Why is it so hard to be different, to be without influence of others? Watch the elegant models of the runway, long-legged, slender, dressed with care. Don't we all wish there was some way we could fit into what they wear? Not that those clothes are for any of us, to wear at work or play or on a date, for it's only an ideal that society formed to make us loathe our current state. Dress up, dress down, be seen and judged, for your image is a second or two glance. The opinions of others will form of you without giving you much of a chance to see the real you. What's under the facade, under the appearance we all put on to make us seem better, smarter, cooler, slender, other than our disappointed selves. Clothing or adornment is about satisfaction of amour-propre, where the aim is indeed other-directed. The point is to dress the manner in which we are happy for others to see us. I'm speaking through my clothes, to you, and you, anyone who sees me. I'm everyone and no one. I am who my clothes make me out to be. So, I've been working on my thesis for some time now, and what I've noticed is how psychological this issue is. A lot of issues with identity crisis are within the mind, where you have to interpret what you see around you. So, being able to step outside of your thoughts and try to understand the cause of it all is what's been so hard. Similarly, being able to analyze myself, my actions, my thoughts, my opinions about the issue that I've just let happen for so many years is a difficult process. Every time my mind wanders off into thinking about my identity crisis, I have to remember that I should be thinking about the big picture of the crisis, not the individual small parts. So, at the same time, however, I'm still being affected by my friends, by my surroundings, by the media, for example, like Facebook or YouTube or a video that I just recently watched. It's everywhere. And it's overwhelming to think how easy it is to be swayed into thinking that these images are the ideal. I think what I've forgotten is how to take into the account that no matter how hard I try to look like somebody else, what does that say about my own identity and fulfilling my own needs? It means I've just copied somebody else's because it looked good on the outside. What I need to do is I need to learn how to hone my own identity. And I can find inspiration from others, but I need to be comfortable in my own appearance. My identity is who I am. And my clothing should support me, but not define me. Feeling lost? Maybe. Feeling alone? No. I have to keep remembering that I'm not the only one out there feeling this identity crisis. And even though we may not be feeling the same confusion or curiosity, it's still the underlying fact that this emphasis on clothing identity is affecting our notion of who we are in society. What will some combination of clothes or a certain style emphasis means will vary tremendously depending on the identity of the wearer, the occasion, the place, the company, and even something as vague and transient as the wearer's and the viewer's moods. Keep searching for this identity? Yes. Feel overwhelmed by it? No.
So there was one story in particular. I was with my stepmom shopping at the mall, and we had just passed one of those really fancy, probably like Guess or something similar to that, and there were some awesome, just really amazing high heels. And I was probably 16, 17, maybe possibly 18 at the time, and I loved them. And we continued walking, and we continued passing the stores, and then we passed a Converse store, and I saw, again, another pair of shoes that I loved. This time it was a pair of knee-high Converse shoes, and I turned to my stepmom and I just said, "Those are fantastic. I should get those." And she looked at me and she just said, "Are you having an identity crisis?" And it just made me question whether, if I'm wearing Converse, can I then, turn around and wear high heels at night? Or, can people who wear high heels actually, relax it a bit and wear Converse? Why is there such a fine line between who you have to be and who, society wants you to be or sees you as. So it really made me question who I was and who I wanted to be within the society. So, yeah.
This is my identity. This is my identity.
This is my identity.
This is my identity.
This is my identity.
This is my identity.
This is my identity.